Hello, everyone, and welcome to a new SEGA News Bits. I'm your host, George, and with me is Barry.
Hello.
It's no use. Today we're going to be talking about, we got an update on the Sonic and Archie situation, and basically, let me read the statement that the Sonic the Hedgehog Twitter account put out. After 24 years of memorable storytelling, SEGA of America will conclude their Sonic the Hedgehog publishing partnership program with Archie Comics. This does not mark the end of Sonic in comics, but signifies SEGA of America's decision to take a different direction for the series that will be announced at a later date. SEGA would like to thank Sonic's amazing fans for their loyalty and passion over all the years. SEGA looks forward to providing more information soon. So this is kind of obvious that they're going to announce something at this year's San Diego Comic-Con, which is in a few days, I think. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, I mean, first off, we all kind of saw this coming. I've been a longtime collector. Basically, I bought the first issue on a road trip. I got back home, realized there was a little mini-series that preceded it, ordered that, and I've been buying them up until, I think, like 2001, and I got back into it about 3 or 4 years ago, and I was enjoying them, and then all of a sudden it just stopped. And, when you go 6 months without comics, you kind of start to wonder what's going on. And so it's good to finally know, even though it was probably what we were expecting. What I find interesting in this statement, though, is they say that it doesn't mark the end. So clearly they have someone in mind, but they say it'll be announced at a later date. Would you say a later date when San Diego is like a few days away? Is that a later date to you?
That's later than this period of time right now, yes.
I guess. Well, because they do say there's more information soon. So I'm really hoping they have something planned for San Diego Comic-Con. If not, something soon.
But yeah, I think it's going to be that they're going to go with IDW. I think that's what all the fans kind of want, because IDW holds a lot of interesting licenses. That a lot of people want to see them do crossovers, and they have a lot of talent that handle the properties with respect. And I think that would be the best bet for this franchise. I know that Boom Studios also is trying to get into the licensing game, but I kind of think IDW is kind of like the prestige publisher in licensing comics.
Right, and Ian Flynn has been working with IDW on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2012 CG cartoon comic book version. So they have a good relationship with him. We've also pointed out in the past that IDW does do some trade paperbacks for the classic Archie books. They also published the former Archie adventure series of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. People have told me that Mirage Studios, now Nickelodeon, has complete control over those comics, so Archie's has nothing to do with it. And I've also been told, and I don't know if this is true, that if SEGA wanted to publish the, start doing the trade paperbacks again, they could, and Archie doesn't have anything to do with it. Do you think that's true? I don't really know how these license things work, but
I have no idea either. I mean, I guess we're going to find out very soon, especially at San Diego. I think that's going to answer all our questions.
I really hope so.
You want to let everybody at home know what the story was before it was canceled? What happened in the last issue of the main series of Sonic the Hedgehog?
Okay, well, in the last issue, they were on part 3 of their retelling of the Sega Genesis classics. Now, I know they did that about 5 years ago, it was called Sonic Genesis, I think. Simple as that. And it was a retelling, but it was through a quasi alternate dimension where the Archie comic characters existed, but they had classic forms, and it was like a little pocket dimension that really didn't go much further than 4 issues. Now this one, all right, I think it's good that they're going to do a hard reboot. That's my assumption, is what they're going to do, because there's so much backstory and so much baggage. I know they did a light reboot in the mid-200s, but even then it was almost like a remake of the originals. And so basically, the last stories were a retelling of the Genesis games, but as a backstory to the new canon. Does that make sense? It's kind of weird, because you read it and you're like, if you had no knowledge of the Archie comics, you'd be like, okay, this is cool. This is like the video games. Wait, who's Sally? What's going on here? She wasn't in the games. But what I think's really interesting with issue number, I'm holding it here, 287. they wrapped up what was called the Panic in the Sky arc, and it was a long-running adaptation of Sonic Unleashed. And in the end, you know, they brought the Earth together. We saw all the characters, you know, hugging. They were happy. And Sonic just kind of looks out with his friends, and he says, "We're just in time for the best sunrise the world's ever seen," you know, and it just kind of ends there. And it's a sweet ending. And off the top of my head, I don't know if they maybe did some modern wraparounds with the classic ones, but they really ended it on a positive note with no cliffhanger in terms of the modern story. Maybe they knew. And I mean, I think they were really hoping to finish off that Genesis of a Hero arc. You know, I don't get upset over comics that much anymore, but I am upset that they didn't finish the Overdrive. There's a third issue, and I really hope that one of their plans is to actually not only conclude that 3-part miniseries, but have that be the new series.
And this is also like the longest running video game comic book series, so now that it's, I guess, ended, and if it continues right, I mean, we've already had 6 months of no comics, so do we already know, I mean, do we still count that as the longest running now that it had 6 months, half a year of nothing?
It's debatable. I mean, I've seen IDW, they're publishing Walt Disney Comics and Stories, which began back in like the 30s or 40s. And it's shifted around so much, but they still keep the numbering. So I really hope this will say like issue 1, and then in parentheses, it'll say like issue, you know, like 292 or something like that.
And this is my last question before we close it up. What characters from the Archie universe are you going to miss if they don't go over to the next publisher?
I would say the core Freedom Fighter cast, because they've had such a long history. They're pretty much, they're older than Knuckles. You know, that's something.
That's
yeah,
cool.
I mean, they debuted in, I think, like 93-ish, around maybe the same time as Knuckles, but yeah, I'm gonna miss them, especially the redesigned ones. They simplified their backstories. They had some pretty cool designs. Antoine, Bunny, Rotor, who else was there? Sally. You know, I mean, I've had a love-hate relationship with those characters over the years, but I won't lie that if they're gone, I'm definitely going to miss them, because it's kind of fascinating that, you know, they started off in a cartoon series, continued on with comics, and they've been around for over 20 years. It's crazy.
So what do you guys think about this whole Archie Comics and Sonic the Hedgehog licensing issue? Do you guys want to see a different publisher pick it up? Do you guys want to see the numbering stay the same? What Archie characters are you going to miss if they can't take them over to the next publisher? Let us know in the comments below. And if you like this video, like, share, subscribe. Thank you.